Ancient Egyptian civilization surprisingly had an advanced legal system. While they exhibited some humane practices such as equal rights for women and all social classes, their justice system also had a reputation for being ruthless and cold, as evident from the depiction of amputated limbs, heads, and phalluses. Welcome to Nutty History, where we explore the laws and punishments of ancient Egypt. During the Old Kingdom and Middle Kingdom, which started around 2950 BC, after the unification of the Upper and Lower Kingdoms under King Menes, local laws were primarily handled at a regional level. Each region had its own set of laws and regulations enforced by local officials who maintained order with their private guards. This system was somewhat analogous to the arrangement of 7 kingdoms and their respective armies in the popular series Game of Thrones. Ancient Egypt had 2 types of courts for prosecuting moral violations: a religious court in the underworld presided over by Osiris, and a civil court that enforced community discipline. The vizier, the pharaoh's right hand, held significant control over judicial matters. Serious crimes were judged by a pharaoh or special commission, while lesser offenses were handled by lower magistrates and local courts. The priests of Amun played a crucial role in reaching verdicts, consulting with their god instead of relying on evidence and testimonies. However, during the Middle Kingdom, the judicial system became more rational and logical, with professional judges and a focus on reason and cause. During the New Kingdom, ancient Egypt established its first professional police force, evolving from the Nubian allies known as the Medjay. These well-organized officers equipped with staffs and animals like dogs or baboons enforced the law and took suspects into custody. They were proud to serve as guards of Egypt, ensuring that both the rich and the poor were held accountable. Egyptian law, though at times considered barbaric by modern standards, supported basic human rights and promoted individual rights. Punishment for crimes varied, ranging from confiscation of property, beatings, and mutilation, to the ultimate punishment of death without a proper burial, which was seen as the most severe fate. Egypt also had a strong stance against corruption, punishing bribery with dismissal from office and the degradation of social status. While theft of property resulted in fines and restitution to the victims, ancient Egypt had strict punishments for various crimes. Thieves were required to confess, return stolen goods, and endure a public beating as a deterrent. Repeat offenders could face execution by being thrown into the river to be eaten by crocodiles. Adultery was condemned, and the punishment could be death or genital mutilation. Sexual violations and assault were also severely punished. The ancient Egyptians respected the sanctity of life and used the death penalty sparingly, distinguishing between murder and manslaughter. Ancient Egypt had a relatively humane approach to the death penalty, but severe punishments were used as a deterrent. Those convicted of intentional murder faced execution, while psychological sanctions were considered even harsher. For example, a child killing a parent would be immolated on a pyre, while a parent killing a child would have their body tied to the victims until decomposition. Grave robbing was punishable by death, and martyrs were seen as a gift to society. In cases of involuntary manslaughter, individuals had to seek forgiveness, make offerings, and provide compensation. Those who covered up murders or withheld information would face punishment, possibly death. Intentional killing of animals with religious significance also led to execution. Treason and treachery were treated with utmost disdain, often resulting in certain death, especially for those close to the pharaoh. Grave privileges were not granted to the punished. Grave robbing in ancient Egypt was considered the gravest sin, resulting in death by crocodile or impalement, especially if the tomb belonged to a royal figure. However, for lesser cases, offenders had their hands cut off, which was seen as relatively merciful. The justice system operated on the belief that a suspect was guilty until proven innocent, making life challenging for the accused. Even after being proven innocent, their names remained on record as former suspects, leading to the public disgrace. False charges were taken seriously as they undermined the efficacy of the law and the divine origins attributed to it. The Egyptian law was believed to be derived from the goddess Ma'at, and any debate questioning its fairness or the gods themselves was discouraged by the authorities. In ancient Egypt, the act of grave robbing was regarded as the gravest sin of all. The consequences for getting caught were severe, often resulting in becoming crocodile food or being impaled to death. If the tomb in question belonged to a royal figure, such as a king or queen or prince, there was no escape from a lethal punishment. However, for other cases, the laws provided a relatively more merciful approach by simply cutting off the hands of the offenders. Contrary to the principles of the modern justice system, ancient Egypt operated under the belief that a suspect was presumed guilty until proven otherwise. This made life incredibly challenging for anyone accused of a crime. Even if they were ultimately proven innocent, a rare occurrence, the ordeal did not end there. Both the suspects and the witnesses were subjected to harsh beatings to extract the truth. Furthermore, even after being exonerated, the individual's name remained on record as a former suspect. Public disgrace played a significant role. Being labeled as a former suspect, even if innocent, carried a lasting stigma within the community. False charges were considered not only a disgraceful act against innocent citizens, but also an undermining force against the efficacy of the legal system, which was believed to be derived from the divine principles of the goddess Ma'at, the embodiment of justice, virtue, and wisdom. Would these punishments stop you from robbing a pharaoh grave? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. Have a good day.